I want you to know that even if something does not seem like it's working out, or you get a no or a not yet, you have the power to still change the end result. As for timing, we don't always know that, right? It depends on every situation, every context. And not everything needs to happen when we think it needs to happen, right? That's often a mental idea that we hold, and then we can put a lot of pressure on ourselves. And yet, there may be a better timing, a better opportunity may come up because of new timing that we hadn't really realized was going to be better for us. But the declaration is within our power, the declaration to decide what it is that we are having. Okay? So let's say you worked on something, you worked towards something, and it feels good. It maybe even feels complete to you. And then in 3D, in physical reality, somehow it doesn't materialize, right? Or you get the no. And what can happen in that instance is that the mind starts to feed on that. Oh, look, it was never going to work out. It's always like this. And it starts saying these things, which often use words, things like it's always like this. It echoes past instances that were negative, and it wants to build a particular story. Understand the mind just does that out of habit. And if you stop believing the mind, you're going to be far happier and actually begin creating a whole new level of results. And so, again, back to this example, you've worked towards something, you feel like it was complete, this was it, this was going to work, and it doesn't for whatever reason. So, in that instance, start paying attention to the thoughts you are thinking instead of letting them take over. Okay, so that's step one, right? So there may be a natural reaction, you might feel disappointed or upset or hurt or angry, whatever the feeling is, right? Feel it, right? Like it's okay, like it's a natural human reaction that we all have. And so you can allow yourself to feel it, but then become aware of any thoughts that are coming with it. And if you're hearing things like, oh, things never go my way, it's always like this, see, I told you so kind of stuff, right? No, that is just an old voice. It's just a critic's voice. It is like a snowball tumbling down a mountain, gathering more snow and becoming bigger. It's kind of like that if we let it continue doing its thing, right? And it is like that snowball in the sense that's just like traveling down with gravity. It knows what to do. It knows the pathways to go in your brain that will solidify it. But that's not what we're looking for. We don't want it anymore. We don't want it to be solidified. We'd rather it dissolve, right? We want it to melt away. And so catching yourself in that instance is really essential. Some people write these down so that they can spot them, and they can also then like cancel them out, as in, is this actually true? No, it isn't true. I don't have to believe this, right? It's just one experience, one answer, one moment, one day. And you can then, after you've noticed this, and ask yourself, am I going to go down this road? Am I going to be taken by the energy of this thought pattern? Or am I going to choose differently? And when you are able to choose differently, you can declare what it is that you intend. And you can even agree and say, yes, the result that I got wasn't what I expected, wasn't what I'd worked towards. And this is how I'm feeling. And yet I know this is not the end. This is just one moment in time. And things can change. They do every day. And I'm declaring this moment that I am having what I am working towards. I am having it. And it is already mine, in fact. I just don't know exactly how and when it's going to happen. And that declaration, what it does, first of all, it cuts off that pattern of thought that is not working for you. You step into your power, you make a declaration, and you can even say it out loud to give it more strength, and you can repeat it if you need to until you feel the strength, and then you let it go and you get on with your day. And you're going to find that whatever you were feeling or experiencing because of the initial no or something not working, and then the declaration that you made is now like all that energy is it's like the experience will be integrated and it's no longer something that is a problem that you're going to hold it in that regard. Now you're declaring what it is that you're going to choose. And that can sometimes even have an impact, like right in the moment. Suddenly it's like you wake up. You're no longer caught in the illusion of this negative thinking pattern. And so when you've done that, you may even feel like much more energized, or you just may feel calm, like more of a neutral. All of that is great. All of that is great. Let it be, and then if there's any step you can take in the moment to affirm that, like to say, yes, not only am I declaring it out loud, but now I'm going to take an action. That action can be simple as, an idea that comes up, then you note it down in your journal or planner or wherever you write. You can record it as a voice note, something to make it more physical, rather than not just a thought in your head, like, oh, I don't like these old thoughts, now I'm declaring something. No, actually say it, write it, hear yourself, and look at it. Like all of this is like, I don't know, the image I suddenly had was like planting a flag. It's planting a flag of declaration. Yes, I am doing this, no matter what happened today. And just notice the shift in energy when it comes. May come instantly, may come after 10 minutes, may come 3 days later. Who knows, right? Depending on the context of the experience, we're all going to have different reactions. But this is a way to keep going. And that's one of my main messages in this channel, is that from my own experience in life and watching others and working with others and guiding others, the one constant is always that our true dreams are worth it. And they do not leave us. We can leave them, but they don't leave us, right? There are ideas I've literally had like years and years ago. And if they suddenly come into my awareness again, they are still alive, as in there's something about them that I can still make happen. And that's the difference between a true desire, a true vision that's come through you, versus one that you've mentally decided is something that you should do, right? And again, this is so common in business, right? People watch other people and are like, oh, I should do it like that, or I should do that specifically. That's how I'm going to make money. That's the way it's done. And they're trying to copy all this stuff. They're not present. They're not in their hearts. They're not in their bodies. They're not in their spirits. They're copying. And there's a place for watching other people and being able to go, oh, wow, that's a great idea. Like, how can I bring it into what I'm doing? But there's a difference when we copy things or we do them because we think they're going to succeed because we've watched somebody else do it. Whereas a true desire, it'll stick with you. It will not leave you. You can leave it, but it does not leave you. So tonight I had such an experience myself. So that's why I'm sharing this, because like I experienced something that, it didn't go the way I would have loved it to go. It went the way it has before. So not bad, but certainly not what I love. And I found myself thinking and feeling a little bit like lower than I would like, instead of recognizing what did work. And then I made that declaration. I made the declaration that I'm having what I desire. I'm having my vision. And suddenly, that little kind of dip that I'd gone into, it just did melt away. It dissolved. And suddenly I just like everything felt better because I had taken action, I had followed through, and then I'd allowed myself to feel, and then I got myself out of that, thinking pattern, and I made a declaration. And it was a very natural thing. It wasn't like I sat there trying to force it, right? So it was really natural because it was like, because I caught myself and what was about to happen. And like, no, I'm not accepting that. So I made the declaration, and seriously, it's like whatever tension I had for a time earlier today is like, it's just gone. And suddenly, this is the interesting part, suddenly everything feels more whole. It's like I went through this journey. I actually went on this kind of high. I was really in this vision, and I was feeling it in a sensory way. I was like really expanded. And then the doubts and the past echoes of thoughts came in, and that kind of was like feeling really contracted. And then I had the actual experience, that event that I was leading, and I did that. And then this is where it was like, okay, now I still followed through, of course, and I followed through with intention and with presence. And then when I came back from it, yes, there was that dip, but I caught myself and made that declaration. Now it like just everything seriously just feels whole again. So going up, going down, like some of that, like it's fine, it's normal. But when we collapse and we stay collapsed, or we suddenly make these sweeping generalizations about who we are and what's going to work and how things are never going to work or whatever, right? That's when we are succumbing to the collapse. And the more you catch yourself and then do something in that moment, as I said, declare it out loud. You don't have to have a lot of fanfare about it. Just clear a statement, and then own it and say it out loud, write it, whatever it is, and receive it. Receive it. Recognize what you did well. Recognize your own follow through. Recognize your own vision and intention. You're going to find that things, as I say, integrate. Because when we expand, there is often a contraction after, so the expansion can actually occur. And when we don't know that, and believe me, there were if somebody had told me this years ago, it would have made such a difference. But the expansion contraction cycle is not a bad thing. It's when we believe the contraction and think that's the truth instead of remembering the expansion. So this wholeness that I feel now it's like I'm coming back to an earlier activity that I had planned, that had gotten to a point where I was all excited, and then the logistics came, and I was like, oh gosh, how am I going to do this all? And suddenly it's like my attention's gone back to it, and it has more space in it too. So I'm speaking energetically mostly here, but also sometimes the way our mind works, the mental realm, and so how it can have all these different thoughts, and then when we bring it back into coherence, then suddenly things get organized. And when they're organized, then it's just so much easier to do them. So declaration, collapse doesn't have to be, well, it's not a permanent thing. This is a temporary thing. So remembering that collapse is okay, but then you can rise up. You can come out of it. And then that will move you into your expansion, right? That's how we embody our vision. That's how we get stronger and stronger and really start showing up in it. And then we get these results that echo things back to us. And then recognizing those results are showing up, saying them or writing them down so that you are catching them instead of falling into any victim consciousness. Oh, how this never works out for me, all those kind of things, is going to keep you moving forward. And the thing is, when you move forward with this, it is whole, it is in integrity. And things that have integrity are robust. They have substance to them. They don't get knocked down very easily. It can seem like a slower path when we're doing all of this awareness and this work around it. And yet this is where the leaps happen, because we're integrating. We're being whole, we're connecting with wholeness. And we're using experience, we're using physical experiences, the positive things, the things that we really want to happen and them happening, and then the negative times when things don't go our way, and becoming stronger because we still did it anyway. And then that brings that wholeness together. It gives us experience, it gives us wisdom, it gives us that feeling of, oh, whatever, it's just another mistake, right? It's just another blah, blah, blah. I don't even have to give it attention. And we can laugh about it, right? Because anybody who's ever succeeded has gone through all of it. And that's why when they do it with integrity, it's just like even more juicy, it's more fun. It's not like you just copied somebody and it worked, but you lived it, you experienced it, this is your movie, right? This is your movie. So what would you tell yourself? What would you want to hear? What would you do next?